Kira Queen bites the dust. Hey guys, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here investigating your favorite animes, and today I'm going to finish up my JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 4 Diamond is Unbreakable review. Let's go. So I'm going to be covering episodes 21 to 39, the finale on this video, and yeah, feel free to check out my long but fruitful review of the first 20 episodes. So to briefly recap, in the town of Morio in Japan, unfortunately a fictional town, there are many stand users hiding behind curtains. Stands are basically supernatural entities with abilities. They are obtained by being shot by a special arrow and surviving it, or they can be inherited as well. So we have tons of good guys and bad guys turning into good guys. Joseph is an old dude who has hermit purple. He can make spirit photographs and grab things with his purple vines shooting out of his hand. Jotaro's Star Platinum, the world can punch hard and fast while stopping time. Josuke's Crazy Diamond can punch hard but also reform things. And then we have Okuyasu's Zahando, the hand, and it can basically erase things. Koichi's Echoes actually have 3 acts. Act 1, you can make sounds. Act 2, you can turn sound effects into a real thing. And Act 3, you can freeze things. And then Koichi's girlfriend, Yukako, has Love Deluxe, which is basically her hair extending and strangling and grabbing and tangling, you know. Ayatsuji is a makeup salon artist whose Cinderella can change people's faces. Tonio's Pearl Jam can hide in Italian food and heal people. Shigechi's Harvest can duplicate into small little creatures doing whatever he wants. Rohan's Heaven's Door, my favorite stand, can turn people into books, which can be rewritten. Shizuka, the baby, can turn anything invisible, and Hazamada's Surface can make a voodoo doll. So yeah, that's basically the whole Duang gang. So basically, in the first 20 episodes, all these characters are encountered, and we also see Raimi, the ghost girl, and her ghost dog, Arnold. She's killed by a serial killer in town, and Josuke and the gang are looking for the killer. So we have episodes 21 to 24. Kira Yoshikage wants a quiet life and sheer heart attack. And oh my god, holy shit! These 4 episodes are golden. They are easy 10 out of 10s. They are some of the most entertaining and intense fights I've ever seen in the anime world. So Shigechi and Kira bought sandwiches from the same store with the same bag. Kira likes to kill women and use their severed hand because of his hand fetish, so he put a severed hand into the sandwich bag. Shigechi mixed up his own bag with Kira's bag, and now Shigechi was carrying around a severed hand. That may get Kira exposed, but again, Kira wants a quiet life. He is the serial killer, but he wants a quiet life, so he doesn't want to be known, be exposed. He wants to, stay unpopular, stay obscured. Throughout the entire episode 20, Kira tries his very best to secretly take back his bag while trying to go unnoticed. And I know it sounds strange, but I actually kind of rooted for Kira, just a little bit. And it was so suspenseful and fun. Until on episode 21, Shigechi actually takes Kira's bag again, because he still thought it's his, and Kira had no choice but to eliminate Shigechi. His stand is revealed to be Killer Queen. Yes, the Queen song. And the guy looks like David Bowie's Thin White Duke. He can punch really hard, turn things into bombs, and can also turn his stand's left hand into a bomb that can target people and blow up infinite number of times because it is unbreakable, ironically. And the last few scenes of episode 21 are shocking. The scene where Kira goes Killer Queen has already touched the doorknob was iconic, but Shigechi was smart and he somehow managed to use his harvest to pull a button off from Kira's suit and give it to Josuke before it dies. That scene where the whole gang shows up to meet Raimi the Ghost was a very pleasant surprise. It's like Avengers Assemble, but JoJo's version. Episodes 23 and 24 just get even better. The fight scene is absolutely breathtaking. It's a battle of wits. It's a battle of luck. And everything has to be so damn close. The timing of everything has to be perfect. It's kind of crazy. Jotaro and Koichi tracked the button to a tailor in a store, and at the same time, Kira was already there, hiding behind a door, and holy shit, what's about to happen? We have an entire fight between just Jotaro and the sheer heart attack bomb. Basically, Killer Queen's Unbreakable left-hand bomb. Jotaro's figured out that it detects the hottest object nearby and blows it up. Jotaro had to save Koichi and got himself unconscious. So Koichi had to save Jotaro in return. The way he tried to turn on the lights and the stove to make everything heat up was so intense. And then we have Echoes evolving to Act 3. It has a shorter range, but it can freeze things now, and it has a consciousness of its own. Very cool. S-H-I-T. As Josuke and Okuyasu were racing to reach Koichi and Jotaro to heal them and save them, Kira showed up again. And minor spoiler alert, but he chopped off his own left hand to let sheer heart attack be completely free. Josuke instead healed that hand, and since Kira's on the run, the hand would fly back to his arm. And so everyone chased after that arm, and it had led the entire gang to Aya Tsuji's makeup salon, where Aya's almost dead. Except if you think that Josuke can heal Aya by touching her, think again. And that's it. Kira had changed his face and his name and has disappeared. Wow. These 4 episodes are adrenaline pumping, spectacular, and unbelievably creatively written. Just wow. The next 3 episodes aren't really directly related to Kira Yoshikage, but they're still decent in their own rights, even though they certainly didn't live up to the quality of the previous 4 episodes. The next episode being about Atom Heart Father, play on another Pink Floyd reference. This time, while Josuke, Jotaro, Koichi, and Okuyasu were searching Kira's house, Josuke found a ghost of Kira's dad, Kira Yoshihiro, hiding in the house. Yes, another ghost. But he also somehow had a stand ability, and that's Atom Heart Father. Basically, he lives in photos. He can trap people into his photo, and whatever he does in the photo will affect what happens in the part in real life that is captured in the photo. Yeah, if that makes any sense. And at the end, Jotaro almost beat him with his intelligence by taking a photo of a photo, but then later on Kira's dad tricked Okuyasu to think that he escaped, so when Okuyasu checked, he actually escaped. The episode 26 is the lowest rated episode, but I actually don't think it's that bad. It's just a really dumb, silly idea on paper. So Kira's dad shot the stand arrow at an 11-year-old kid, who got a stand boy to man, named after Boys to Men, who's similar to the Darbies back in the last part, Stardust Crusaders, except he plays rock, paper, scissors. So, it's the most basic game there is, but it soon became a very intense game of 5 rounds of rock, paper, scissors, because if Rohan loses, the boy stand can basically absorb Heaven's Door, or any stand he wants to. Again, sort of like the Darbies, and of course we got the mind games, and Rohan outsmarted the kid at the end very nicely. Episode 27 is called I Am a Space Alien, and it's probably my least favorite episode of the whole part. It feels almost completely unrelated to the main storyline. There is not much in terms of drama or tension, and the fact that an actual alien landed in Morio just adds to a level of superficiality to the story, like, oh, by the way, there's this whole other space sci-fi thing that's not related to Kira at all. Basically, Josuke and Okuyasu met the alien, and apparently the alien can shapeshift. So Josuke made him shapeshift into dices so that he can win a bet against Rohan so that he can get money. And the episode didn't even end on a conclusion. And you also have the new OP, Great Days. And in my opinion, it's one of the weaker OPs of JoJo, unfortunately, even though I kinda prefer this over Stand Proud. The song is kinda tame. Even though I think the animation is really awesome for the most part. I like how everyone's pointing upwards at the end as an homage to the cover of Volume 41. And I also really like Kira in the beginning just smirking in front of our faces. But no worries, because the rest of the entire part is pretty much fantastic. Watertight, entertaining storylines. We have episodes 28 to 29, Highway Star. And it started off with the ending of the Josuke trying to trick Rohan to give him more money storyline, which ended off quite ridiculously, and if anything, it reinforces Rohan's very headstrong character. Then we have Rohan seeing an illusion of Kira inside a tunnel. Rohan checked it out, and turns out it's a stand creating an illusion, and then sending footsteps to sniff Rohan's scent, thus tracking him down and sucking his nutrients. Yeah, it's a very complicated stand. The footsteps can also form a purple human figure. So Josuke, despite having a beef with Rohan, tried to save him, and this led to a very exciting and entertaining motorcycle chase, and particularly that scene where Josuke had to deconstruct his motorbike and reconstruct it in order to save a woman and her child. That was quite the epic. Hey. Then we have the iconic, okay master, let's kill the whole beach scene, and also the Daga Kotowaru scene. And then at the end, with the help of Koichi, Josuke tracked down the stand user Yuya Fungami and beat him up. Healed him, and then beat him up again. What I also like about these episodes is how it explores the relationship between Josuke and Rohan. Episode 30 is The Cat Likes Kira Yoshikage, and it's a full-on Kira episode, and it's still quite entertaining. Kira's girlfriend Shinobu found a stray cat in her basement who manifested a stand, combined with a stand. Okay, Shinobu accidentally killed it, but in the afterlife, the cat's ashes grew into a weird flower that sort of combined with the stand. And the stand can basically control air by making air bubbles and shooting them. The cat obviously hated Shinobu and tried to kill her, but we also see scenes of Shinobu's son, Hayato, who somehow is smart enough to observe Kira and find out that he's actually not the man he seemed to be. And then we have episodes 31 to 34, which is a really special multi-parted chapter / episode where multiple things happen on the same day, that is July 15th, but we constantly jump forward and backward to see what happens. A weird stand user appeared in Josuke's place, but Josuke was already gone, so the stand user attacked his mom instead. Later, the stand user attacked Koichi, and the stand is Enigma. Meanwhile, Josuke, Okuyasu, and Mikitaka, the alien, found a dude living in a transmission tower. The dude wanted to lure Josuke into the tower so that he can leave. Because his stand is Superfly, and that's the transmission tower, it's an independent stand. So it's not really in the guy's control, but one person must live in the transmission tower. If that person escapes, he himself or she herself will turn into a part of the transmission tower, himself or herself. They will turn into metal. And also what's special about this tower is that whatever energy you give this tower, it'll give back, meaning that if you punch the tower will punch back. Actually, I have an idea. I don't know if it's a plot hole or not, but if you are Okuyasu, can you just erase parts of the tower? If you have erased it, then it wouldn't have the time to erase you back then, because it's already erased. But anyways, It's a really weird stand, but it made for a very interesting battle of wits. It's like a really deadly puzzle game. And at the same time, Rohan appointed someone to help him fix his burned room, and that person acts really weird and hates it when people look at his back. But given that it's Rohan, now he's curious as to what's gonna happen if he saw the guy's back. And this had led to Rohan fighting Cheap Trick, which is also an independent stand. What's smart about it is that it only shows up behind you. It's almost like Araki was expressing his fear of being followed and turning it into a stand, and this stand is not a powerful stand, but another really, really creative stand. If someone sees your back while you have Cheap Trick clinging onto your back, you die, and the stand clings to the back of the person who saw you. So this stand can technically kill everyone one by one as long as they don't know the rules of the game. And still, the way Rohan defeated it was absolutely genius. And then we have Enigma, who can turn anything into a piece of paper. He can also turn people into paper once the person shows a sign of fear. And what I love about this fight is that the person who defeated Enigma wasn't even a main character. It's against the norm, and it's actually really surprising. Over to episodes 35 and 36, another one bites the dust. And holy shit, it's so good! It's so good! It's only getting better. So Hayato, Kira's stepson, was observing Kira and found him murdering people. And so Kira confronted him while he was in the shower, naked, and it was the most uncomfortable family shower ever in the history of all media. Just, oh my god. What's crazier was the result of that, which made Kira super anxious and afraid until Kira's dad showed up and shot him again with a stand arrow by accident. Then Hayato woke up and everything was fine all over again. It was like a dream. Turns out Kira had attained a new ability, and wow, of course it's related to time, and this one it's so much more frightening. It is bites the dust, bites the dusto. And what's so insanely jaw-dropping and shocking is that in that morning, Rohan actually found Hayato and spoke to him, and what happened to Rohan was absolutely insane. And the next episode is just as high stakes. The key to defeat Kira was really only Hayato, and he had to come up with a plan to make Kira stop using his bites the dust. And the only way to do that is to kill him. And what came after is absolutely insane. It was a mixture of fate, battle of wits, and intelligence. Hayato had to not be the one to reveal his dad's real identity while simultaneously be near someone else with a stand like Josuke or Jotaro, so that bites the dust will not be activated and Kira wouldn't know he was in danger, but he would be, and Hayato would be saved all at the same time. Now, that's tricky. Also, the bites the dust version of Great Days is a really, really awesome surprise. The last 3 episodes, Crazy Diamond is Unbreakable, Kureji Diamondo wa Kudakenai, is truly 3 very insane episodes full of ups and downs, surprises and shocks. Even though this isn't as laser focused as the Jotaro versus Dio fight, this is very much a team effort. Josuke, Okuyasu, Koichi, Jotaro, and even Reimi took part in defeating Kira. At first, we have the fight, and the fight seemed very straightforward until you realize that Killer Queen has multiple abilities, and there are actually 2 other stands secretly working for Kira. Episode 37 was tragic and powerful. The way Kira handles death is so much better and more realistic than how he handled death back in part 1. And then episode 38 is the ultimate battle of mind games, to a point where it's ridiculous but effective. Using the cigarette smoke to locate the air bubble is reminiscent to using sand to locate Vanilla Ice Void Ball back in part 3, but the voice imitation scene is just so damn clever. Episode 39, the last episode, is also spectacular when Jotaro and Koichi joined the fight. As little as they did it in the nick of time, and what happened to Kira at the end is actually kind of poetic and fitting, also a little ironic actually, as it always points back to fate and coincidences. Even at the end, when Kira showed up at the gates of hell and figured out that he can't turn around, Reimi had to use one last trick to make him turn around and send him to hell. So yeah, okay. I'm going to go to the spoiler territory now. The timestamp is at the description this time. But yeah, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Diamond is Unbreakable, skip this part. So first of all, Rohan died twice, and I'm actually really grateful that he survived again on the third run. For some time I thought, what if Hayato could tell Rohan without actually being close to him? Maybe write something on a piece of paper. But I guess in that case, Killer Queen would then hide in whatever it is, like a piece of paper or whatnot. Secondly, I like how Araki taunted us, making us think that Okuyasu really died. It sort of echoes back to episode 2 of, again, part 4, where we are forced to come to terms with death, but this time Okuyasu actually came back to life. Again, it's awesome how Josuke misled Kira to blow his dad up, and I also think it's cool that Okuyasu adopted the stray cat because, hey, it's just a cat plant. Also, it's kind of well written that even Tonio's food couldn't heal Okuyasu's dad. We are still forced to come to terms with that, with what ended up of his dad, and that we can't really ask for everything. However, I do wish that Rohan would say something emotional to Reimi at the end. And another thing is that I wish we could see more of Hermit Purple. Hamitu Paparu, aside from saving a baby. Yeah. Overall, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 4 Diamond is Unbreakable is amazing. It's so much better than all 3 of the previous parts. The characters are so much more memorable and likable. The stands are so damn creative, and it's more about the battle of wits and creativity and intelligence and strategy than it is strength, unlike the fights with Alessi or, Devil. Pretty much every fight in this part is full of mind games. Most of the filler episodes / chapters are actually pretty entertaining, and the big fights are just awesome. The Yukako fight, the Rohan fight, the Highway Star, the Enigma, and of course, Kira. I do still think that the alien episode is still kind of out of place, and I do still think that Shigechi Part 1 is kind of boring. But all in all, I think the way Araki would actually apply his real-life concerns into the story is quite brilliant. His concern for maintaining a family, taking care of a baby, financial management, mortality, all written in a way it's relatable yet entertaining. Here are the stats of whom defeated whom, but I guess the lines are kind of blurred in comparison to part 3. Josuke had the highest wins, of course, and Koichi had the second highest. I'll show you the stats of part 3 as well right here. Jotaro has the most wins, while Polnareff, Porunarehu the second, and Josehu the least. The part is not without its flaws, but I'd say it's nearly perfect. My favorite chapter is Crazy Diamond is Unbreakable, and my least favorite is I Am a Space Alien. I am giving JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 4 Diamond is Unbreakable a strong 9 out of 10. Yeah, so have you watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 4 Diamond is Unbreakable? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like if you like it, hate if you hate it, and subscribe if you want more. And yeah, thanks for watching.